it's Debbie LaCroix with Usborne Books, and I'm going to show you some of my favorites. This is actually probably the hardest thing for me to do, is to pick my favorite books because I absolutely love them all, and I'll probably end up adding a couple, but I want to do this really quickly for you just to give you a sneak peek. We have over 1,400 books in our line, and so it gets to be a little bit crazy when trying to pick your favorites. This is actually one of our new ones, and if I had a little baby, I would totally be owning these. There's a bunny as well. There's a Hushabye owl, a Hushabye bunny. It's got the crinkly sounds and all the fun stuff. It's got a story. It's really soft and cute. And then at the very back, it's got the sleeping owl. So it's really fun. We also have, I guess I'm going to kind of start younger, That's Not My series, and I have actually some more of the titles down back here. We have a ton of these, everything from princess, fairy, panda, puppy, kitten, tractor, train. There's a lot of these amazing books, and they're really durable as well. They've got the thick pages. They're very, very simple, and they're really good for vocabulary building. That's Not My Squirrel. His paws are too rough, and so they're touching rough, and they're also hearing the word, and it's giving this concept of what rough actually is. That's Not My Squirrel. Its cheeks are too smooth, and so they're feeling it. And it's using rare words because you know you've got your very common words, and then you've got your rare words that you don't hear as much in the vocabulary. And look at how fluffy his tail is. So that's my squirrel. His tail is so fluffy. So these are really fun. I highly recommend them ages 0 to actually even 4. If you have older kids that are still tactile, these are great, and they're actually great beginner readers because they're very predictable. Speaking of beginner readers, we've got the Hey Jack and Billie B Brown series, and you can actually get these in a set, and these are really fabulous. They're very simple. They're fun stories, simple arc, very easy to read, and I actually enjoy reading them when I'm sitting at a booth and nobody's there. Sometimes I'll pick one of these up for a really good story. Which reminds me, if you are looking, oopsie, flying books, that's what happens when you have so many. If you're looking to teach your children to read, we do have the Starting to Read pack, and it's got a bunch of books, all that build upon each other. I'm more than happy to talk to you a little bit more about this if you'd like. We don't have time. That one on itself would take a whole video. And since this one fell on me, this is one of our Farmyard Tales. It's actually a dual reader. And we have a couple books like this. The Princess Stories is also a dual reader, though that one is actually a bigger size as well as the fairy tales. So you can see it's got an easier text and then a more complicated text. The top text is actually a story all its own, and there is a little duck that you can find on every single page. So these books are really great bedtime stories. If you like the dual reader and you like the Princess Stories, there's also fairy tales. And then there's a complete book of Farmyard Tales, and I think I'm actually sold out of that one right now, but that one is really cool as well. And it's thick, it's $25, but it comes with, I think there's 20 stories in it, so it's a really good deal. Speaking of our combined volumes, so combined volume, and if you see a CV, it stands for combined volume. We have Big Book of Little Stories, and this is really awesome. We also have an Aesop's Fables for young children that I love, but this has got a ton of stories in it, and I love the illustrations. Each story has a completely different illustration to it. That one looks like Wind in the Willows, an easier version of it. But you've just got all these really fun read-alouds, and you can do a story a night. And then there is actually a ribbon bookmark so that you don't have to lose your place if you're not sure what story, and you can do one story a night. So as your kids get a little bit older, they get really curious. We have a lot of nonfiction, both for older and younger. This is actually some of our younger nonfiction. This is the Big Book of Dinosaurs, and the reason it's so big, and it is really, really big, actually, but the pages fold out. We have this in trucks, there's space, there's astronomy, there's big bugs, sea creatures, so I highly recommend these. It's a really good deal for $14.99. I also absolutely love these spot books. This is 1001 Animals. Again, we have Fairyland, Pirate, Sea, Vacation, but they're just your simple spot books where you're trying to find the different things on the pages, and these will keep your kids really busy. We've taken these, we used to keep these in our car for when we would go to the waiting rooms, and the kids would have to sit, and they could take this in with them. So that is a really good one. Okay, I also love, I know I love a lot of books, sorry if I love too many, are sticker books. These are great. We have the sticker dollies, and these are actually starting to become reusable. So this is one of the older ones, but the pages are now becoming shiny. So they get to take and they can dress the whatever the character is. We have sticker dolly princesses, we have fairies, we have ballerinas, we have pop stars, we have movie stars, we have sports. So there's all these different categories for your child, and if they're more girly girl, or if they're a tomboy, or if they're looking at career, there's dream jobs. So I highly recommend those. They're really great for, again, vacation, travel, or just boredom, rainy days. And then we have the build your own books. These are fun. It has all the different stickers, and they go together on the actual pages, kind of like a puzzle. And there are kids that decide not to use the templates, but they create their own. And this is really cool because it actually tells you about the different cars that are in here. And then we also have the sticker books for younger kids. These are a couple of the different ones, but we have, again, zoo, animal, dinosaurs, trucks, animal. There's just a ton of different ones if you look on the website. Or I can point out if you're like, do you have one on fairies? And I can be like, yes, we do. So don't be afraid to ask. These are really simple pages, and they get to build their own. So they are taking the stickers and creating their own scenes. And then there's also, this is the ballet one. It's actually teaching some ballet moves at the same time. And then you can see that the pages are, again, very simple, where they're getting to build their own scenes. So as I said, I absolutely love this. Is teaching about Coppelia, which is a famous ballet, and a really fun one for kids. A lot of them, if they're in ballet, they might actually get to do it at some point in their ballet career. So anyways, those are some of my favorite books. I can't say all of them because I'd be here talking to you for hours and hours and hours, but I hope you have enjoyed this sneak peek into Usborne books, and please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.